Have you ever wondered what it feels like to simply vanish? One moment, you're sailing on a calm sea or flying through a clear sky. The next, you're gone, wiped from existence. No wreckage, no final call, no trace. For centuries, a stretch of the Atlantic Ocean has earned a chilling reputation as a place where the rules of our world bend and break. They call it the Bermuda Triangle, a watery graveyard where logic drowns and mysteries are born. It has no official borders on any map, yet everyone knows its name. A phantom triangle stretching roughly from the coast of Florida down to Puerto Rico and out to the island of Bermuda. This is one of the most heavily trafficked shipping and flight corridors in the world. Yet, it's here that the legend took root. Ships and planes, hundreds of them, entered this zone and were never seen again. The stories began as whispers among sailors, tales of a cursed sea. But soon, the whispers became a roar as the world began to pay attention to the triangle's insatiable appetite. The first accounts are lost to the mists of time, logged in forgotten maritime archives. Ships setting sail from bustling ports, only to become ghosts. Vessels like the USS Cyclops, a massive U.S. Navy collier that disappeared in 1918 with over 300 souls aboard. No distress signal was ever sent. It was as if a giant hand had plucked it from the ocean. Other stories tell of ghost ships found drifting aimlessly. The Mary Celeste, discovered with its sails set, a warm meal on the table, but not a single crew member in sight. Their logbooks often ended abruptly, a final entry before an unnerving silence. It wasn't the storms or the rocks that were frightening. It was the quiet, inexplicable disappearances. Then came December 5th, 1945. This was the day the legend of the Bermuda Triangle was cemented in fear. 5 U.S. Navy Avenger torpedo bombers, known as Flight 19, took off from Fort Lauderdale for a routine training mission. They were seasoned pilots, flying in perfect weather. But within an hour, their radio transmissions turned confused, then desperate. The flight leader reported his compasses were malfunctioning. He couldn't tell which way was west. Everything is wrong, strange. We can't be sure of any direction. Even the ocean doesn't look as it should. The control tower listened, helpless, as the voices grew fainter, swallowed by static. A rescue plane, a massive Martin Mariner flying boat with a crew of 13, was dispatched immediately to search for them. It, too, vanished from radar without a trace. In a single afternoon, 6 aircraft and 27 men were erased from the face of the earth. The story of Flight 19 opened the floodgates. The world learned that planes weren't the only victims. Ships, big and small, had been meeting the same fate for decades. The SS El Faro, a modern cargo ship, sailed into the Triangle's path in 2015 and was lost to a hurricane. But what about the days with clear skies and calm seas? The Carroll A. Deering, a 5-masted schooner, was found wrecked and abandoned, with food still laid out in the galley. The Sulphur Queen, a 500-foot tanker, disappeared in 1963. Its last message was a simple, routine, all is well. There was no debris, no oil slick, no sign of the 39 men aboard. It's one thing for a ship to sink in a storm. It's another for it to disappear so completely that it leaves no scar upon the ocean. As more survivors of strange encounters came forward, the tales grew even more bizarre. Pilots and sailors spoke of phenomena that defied explanation. They described a phenomenon they called electronic fog, a dense, swirling gray cloud that appeared from nowhere. Inside this fog, instruments would go haywire. Compasses would spin wildly, radios would fill with static, and engines would falter. Some reported experiencing lost time, landing at their destination only to find that their clocks and their watches were mysteriously behind schedule. As if for a few moments or even hours, they had slipped out of the normal flow of time. Are these just the ramblings of frightened sailors, or glimpses into a force we cannot comprehend? Science has tried to provide answers, to anchor these floating mysteries with cold, hard facts. Geologists point to the possibility of massive, sudden eruptions of methane gas from the ocean floor. A bubble of this gas could, in theory, reduce the density of the water so dramatically that a ship floating above it would instantly sink. Meteorologists speak of rogue waves, colossal walls of water that can reach over 100 feet high, appearing without warning and capable of swallowing a ship whole. And of course, there is human error, the most common factor in any accident. But can these theories truly account for every missing plane, every silent ship, every garbled final transmission? Or do they just scratch the surface of a much deeper, darker truth? When science falls short, speculation runs wild. Some look to the depths, whispering of a forgotten power, a remnant of an ancient, advanced civilization like Atlantis, whose technology still lies dormant on the seafloor, occasionally lashing out. Others look to the skies, suggesting the triangle is a portal, a wormhole to another dimension, or a cosmic shortcut used by extraterrestrial visitors. These theories paint the Bermuda Triangle not as a place of accidents, but as a place of intention, a hunting ground. While there is no proof for any of these claims, they persist, fueled by the one thing science cannot explain away: the sheer number of a perfect and complete disappearance. Even in our modern age of satellite tracking, GPS, and constant communication, the triangle continues to claim victims. Small planes and private yachts still vanish. In 2017, a private plane with a prominent CEO and her family aboard disappeared from radar while flying through the region. Despite a massive search effort, not a single piece of wreckage was ever found. The legend refuses to die because the mystery has never been solved. For every explanation, there's a case that defies it. For every attempt to dismiss the legend, the ocean quietly adds another name to its list of the lost. The lack of answers is what keeps the fear alive. In the end, perhaps the greatest mystery is not what lies within the Bermuda Triangle, but what it represents. It is a stark reminder that our planet is still a place of immense power and profound secrets. We may have mapped the globe and charted the stars, but the ocean remains a vast, unforgiving wilderness. It does not give up its dead, nor its secrets. The Bermuda Triangle is a wound on our modern world, a place where our confidence, our technology, and our logic are swallowed whole. It asks us a question we are too afraid to answer. If a ship can disappear without a trace in the busiest waters on Earth, what else is possible? Thanks for watching.